Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys an update to my Gem Knight deck profile for May 2014. Been a little while since I tinkered with the deck, but a couple of you have requested that I do an update. I know Gem Knights have probably lost a little bit of popularity with a bunch of other decks out, and they haven't got that much support from Hidden Arsenal, I think, being the last set that they were in. But without further ado, let's show you guys the update. I still run 3 Gem Knight Garnet. This is basically the only target now in the deck for Rescue Rabbit, since you can only run 1 Rescue Rabbit. I find having him at a 1900 attack point base is very good to start off. Just like with Evil Swarm decks, having Heliotrope, Garnet is the best target to go for with Rabbit. I also run 3 Gem Knight Amber. This is pretty much the Thunder target you use because Gem Knights use a lot of fusions with their summons. Amber is the Thunder target. I used to have Tourmaline as the target. I find Amber is a lot more consistent. You can use the Gemini effect if need be. Just better options. It's the normal monster, which go for a lot of effects. Just a really good card overall. I also run 3 Gem Knight Obsidian. I really like the card basically because if it's sent from the hand to the graveyard, you could target 1 level 4 or lower normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So pretty much if you use Obsidian as one of the material for a fusion summon, you can use his effect to special summon another card. Like let's say you use Gem Knight Garnet with the fusion summon. You have a Garnet on the field, Obsidian in the hand, fuse with them. After you do the fusion, Obsidian's effect will special summon the Garnet you used in the fusion. So you gain a monster with that fusion. I also run 3 Gem Knight Lazuli. Lazuli has the same effect as Obsidian, except instead of special summoning it, you add the normal monster from the graveyard back to your hand to reuse for other things, whether it be another fusion. Sometimes you don't want to risk the torrential. Lazuli just helps in that situation. Moving on, I also run 2 Gem Knight Sardonyx. Once again, just another Gemini target. You want high attack point monsters in the deck. It's a Pyro target, which you use to make Gem Knight Citrine. Just another good card. Gem Knight, the Gemini effect is really good with the card. Amber's effect is more for consistency. Sardonyx is more for popping cards. Once again, Gem Knight monsters can be kind of slow. Pretty much more for a slow base game. Overall, I just use them because they're the Pyro and Thunder targets for fusions. And I also use 2 Summoner Monk. I like Summoner Monk in the deck pretty much because Gem Knight Fusion really goes off when you have the card in the graveyard. With Summoner Monk, you could send Gem Knight Fusion from your hand to get a level 4 to the field, Exceed Summon with it, and then easily get back the Gem Knight card to your hand after banishing, let's say, a Gem Knight monster that you use as the material for the Exceed. So you could detach the Gem Knight, have it in the graveyard with the fusion that you use to get off Summoner Monk's effect, and get it back in your hand for really no cost at all. I also run 2 Gem Armadillo. Armadillo, and along with the other animals in the deck, really just help set up your plays. Armadillo, when this card is normal summon, you can add 1 Gem Knight monster from your deck to your hand. The biggest problem I find most of the time with the monster count is that Amber is the only Thunder type Gem Knight in the deck, so if you want to set up your plays, you can get out the big fusion monster, which is Prism Aura. Gem Armadillo really helps because it can get the Tourmalines, not the Tourmalines, the Ambers to your hand very quickly. I'm down to 1 Gem Turtle, pretty much because flip effects just aren't as fast as they used to be. I still like having 1 just so I can have that option to get Gem Knight Fusion to my hand quicker. 2000 defense, so he is pretty hard to get over. Plus he's also a rock type, same as Gem Armadillo. So it can be an easy target for Gem Knight Zirconia, which is a vanilla fusion monster, and its requirements are 1 Gem Knight monster and 1 rock type monster. Plus the 1 Rescue Rabbit, like I said, for the normal monster Garnet to go into. Very needed, speeds up the deck a great amount. 1 Grand Mole. This really helps get over heavy hit monsters. Like let's say I have a Maestroke and the effect of Prism Aura just doesn't cut it to destroy. Grand Mole helps in those situations. Plus another rock target for Zirconia. And 1 Gorz. Only non-rock or Gem Knight monster that I use to help speed up the deck besides Summoner Monk. That is it for the monsters. For spells, I run 3 Gem Knight Fusion. Big card of the deck. Gets off a lot of plays. It's the polymerization for the deck. Send from your hand or field to the graveyard material for the fusion monsters. And when this card is in your graveyard, you can banish a Gem Knight to add it back to your hand. That's simple to get off so many different plays. I also run 2 Reasoning. Pretty much, like I said, you want to get Gem Knight Fusion in the graveyard. Reasoning helps by giving you a monster maybe for your fusion and possibly milling Gem Knight Fusion to the graveyard. I also run 1 Book of Moon, 3 MST, because you really want to clear back row when you're getting off your plays, 1 Mind Control, and 1 Dark Hole. For traps, I run 1 Pyrozine Fusion. It's pretty much a trap card Gem Knight Fusion. I just want to have more options for fusion summonings. I don't want to be limited to just Gem Knight Fusion. I've tried other cards like Super Polymerization. Didn't work out as well. Pyrozine Fusion is just the card I prefer. And I also run 1 Compulse, 1 Warning, 1 Deep Prison, 1 Bottomless, and 2 Mirror Force. That is it for the main deck. We will move on to the extra. I run 3 Gem Knight Prismora, one of the big cards of the deck. It's the card you use to pop other cards on the field. All you have to do is send 1 Gem Knight monster from your hand to the graveyard to target 1 face-up card on the field, destroy that target. Really good card, 2450 attack, which is a pretty decent base attack for the card. Very nice. I also run 2 Gem Knight Citrine. This card must be first fusion summon, and if it attacks or is attacked, your opponent cannot activate card effects until the end of the damage step. A really big thing in the meta currently. If you can get 2 Citrines out on the field and hit your opponent, being able to not activate Lance or any other hand traps or traps during the damage step really hurts them. With 2200 attack points, not bad just hitting into your opponent. Plus, I also run 2 Gem Knight Ruby. Just for a bunch of different plays. The requirements to summon it are 1 Gem Knight Garnet and 1 Gem Knight Monster, which are pretty easy in the deck. 2 Zirconias. Zirconia is probably the one I summon the most with the deck, because the requirements are just 1 Gem Knight Monster and 1 Rock-type Monster, with all your different targets, including Grand Mole, Armadillo, Turtle. Very easy to get off. Plus, what I like about it is it can't be Fiendish Chain, because it's not an effect monster. And 1 Gem Knight Master Diamond, probably one of the harder fusion targets to get off in the deck. Just like having that 1 heavy hitter monster that I could possibly go for. All you need are 3 Gem Knight monsters. Really not a bad target. I like the ability to copy effects, really helps with the deck. And for Exceed monsters, I run 1 Daigusto and Morale. Can get his effects off really easy, get lots of monsters in the graveyard, can special summon a normal monster, which is very easy in this deck. 1 Lava Ball Chain really helps set up plays, Gem Knight Pearl for extra power, 1 Black Ship of Corn, and 1 Utopia. One card I might suggest maybe swapping out, maybe 1 Prismora, putting in a Big Eye, pretty much because Citrine, the Prismoras are all level 7s, so it's really easy if you get off a lot of plays to get 2 level 7s out on the field, and if you need Big Eye for any situation, very easy to rank up into him. So yeah, that's it for the deck. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.